All right, good to go. So, guys, welcome to the weekend fishing forecast for April 11th, 2019. We're going to take a look at the conditions, current and predicted, for southeast Louisiana, or just rather more accurately put, inshore fishing in Louisiana, and ascertain what to do. Based upon what's been working and what I think is going to work. So understand that this is really just my opinion at the end of the day, but it works out and I catch fish. So let's go ahead and jump into this. I got my little list here. Current conditions. Boop doop boop boop. Let me switch that over. Okay. Let me pull up. We'll start the national weather forecast from NOAA, the NOAA marine forecast. Not so much that I like to look at their wind forecast and whatnot because it's only for a 24-hour period, but because I like their synopsis that's at the top here, and I'll read it out to you. A ridge of high pressure will continue to move to the east of our region. A strong cold front will push through the coastal water Sunday morning. That basically just says Sunday is really gonna suck for fishing, depending on the timing of this cold front. If it comes in at 10 a.m., you might be able to get a 3 or 4 hours of prefrontal fishing. If it rolls through at 5 a.m., I wouldn't even roll out of bed. I'd sleep in or go to church or do whatever it is you do on a Sunday. All right. Let me take a looky here. Let's see, making sure everything. I just updated some software, just making sure everything works. Okay, cool. Good. Glad to see it. So what I like to use for a wind forecast is Wind Finder. All right, there is an app that you can use on your smartphone, but I was born in the 80s, so I don't really dig smartphones because it's like you're looking at the world through a little peephole. I like a desktop computer. So they do have a website, and this is it right here. Now what we're looking at here is the Wind Finder forecast for Shell Beach. Okay, and if you've never seen Shell Beach before, it's at the bottom of Lake Borgne. Actually, give me a moment here, and I can pull it up. I don't have Google Earth pulled up because it needs to be updated, and it's moving slow. It's being a pain in my butt today, and after having to force quit it twice, I was like, all right, we're just going to use Google Maps. That's what I'm pulling up right now for you. Please bear with me. Okay. Alright. So, minimize that. Shell Beach, the Shell Beach buoy is right there at the bottom of Lake Borgne. Okay, so pressing on. Here we are at Wind Finder. And for tomorrow, alright, because today's Thursday, right? For tomorrow, it looks like that wind's going to lay down. And then it's going to be, for the most part, overcast. Ooh, prefrontal weather stuff. We like this. Wind is going to blow a little harder towards the end of the day, but in the morning it shouldn't be bad. Okay, low pressure below 30 inches. Low tide is at 8:30. High tide is at 7:30 p.m. So 8:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. All right. Saturday, gosh, oh no. Saturday, guys, I tell you what, Saturday and Sunday just might be a good time. Let me tell you all something. Saturday and Sunday will probably be a good time to learn what it's like to get your butt kicked by the wind. If you've never had that experience, Saturday and Sunday, that's your chance. All right. If you do not desire to learn what it's like, then stay home and do something more productive. What I would do if I were you guys is maintenance. I work on my tackle. I would de-twist all my line. I clean all my reels. I sort all my tackle. I get any moisture that's in tackle boxes, get it out so you don't have any hooks or any other terminal tackle that's rusting or corroding. Sort everything, organize it so it's good to go for your next fishing trip. Or stay somewhere that is incredibly protected from the wind. I'm talking like big, tall, concrete wall kind of protected. Otherwise, crossing any kind of bay or lagoon is going to be a nightmare, unless you're in like a 32-foot catamaran, right? So, tomorrow's definitely the day to go, though. Definitely the day to go. Because anytime you get a wind switch, let me zoom out a little bit here. See, all right, this I love this map so much because it shows you the velocity of the wind, the strength, and the direction. So here it is for Thursday, and this is what it's going to look like for Friday, which is you know, for the most part of what happened Thursday. We like consistency, we like stability. What we don't like when we go fishing is to have a sudden and drastic change in conditions, especially with wind speed, and especially wind direction. So Saturday we see that wind kicking up. Okay, it's for the most part coming from the same direction, but that velocity, or rather that speed, is increasing. Then here it is on Sunday. Okay, it's nearly a 180 degree change in wind direction, and it's going to be booking. So that's too bad. All right. Anyways, so I just wanted to illustrate that for you guys. Let's go ahead and look at sun/rain, which we kind of already did. It's going to be mostly overcast Saturday, raining Sunday morning, and then it'll be bright out. And it'll be bright out because that front, you can see it here on Modus. Let me zoom out here. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, actually, this is, you would need to see. Let me go to the next day. Today's satellite image. Go to 1,000 meter resolution. Actually, let's go to 2,000 meter resolution. Okay, cool. So you can see this is us in Louisiana down here. This is this big blue blobs, the Gulf of Mexico. There's Florida. And you can see all the clouds are starting to move in. And here's the edge of the front right up here. In fact, let me try this other Terra image. Let me zoom in a little bit, go to 1,000 meter resolution. Yeah, and you can see the edge of the front right there. So as the front comes in, it's cloudy, partly cloudy, all right, and then boom, no clouds. That's what's going to hit us Sunday, and when it does, it won't be pretty. So keep that in mind, guys. Let's see here, latest fishing reports. You know what? Actually, I'm not done yet. There's something else I want to move on to. Water clarity, guys. So something that people have been worried about or talking about is the Bonnet Carre Spillway, and all the river water is dumping into Lake Pontchartrain. Now, for the most part, it's hosed. And I've said it, and it's a safe bet that is hose fishing in the lake. However, fishing, the concepts of fishing principles, they don't change. All right, and what I mean by that is old truisms that are tried and true, like you got to go to know. Okay, so you can say, oh, it's going to be a wash, or it's going to be great, or whatever. Ultimately, you don't know until you launch a boat and get out there. And that's been the case lately because we have gotten on some speckled trout. Yesterday, I still got to count them up because I didn't keep any trout. I released them, but I'm pretty sure I caught 20 to 25 by myself. And guys, these fish were pigs. Let me show you here. Look at that. So there's a pair of scissors right there to kind of give you a frame of reference, right? And you know, there's my hand that's on it. There's a trolling motor foot pedal. But look how tall these speckled trout are. These are Lake Pontchartrain speckled trout. They fight really, really hard. They're fat, and when they hit, it's sometimes they just nip. But yesterday they weren't really nipping. They were hammering. So I was able to get on some speckled trout. I still have to post that report, and I swear to God I will. And there's a fish and trip review for it too. I recorded the whole thing. It'll be available to LAFB Elite members as soon as we're done editing the video and all that, getting it uploaded and stuff. So my point here is that, yeah, you know, there could still be some good trout fishing, and this comes as a surprise for a lot of people in St. Tammany Parish, in Orleans Parish, St. Bernard, and even parts of Plaquemines Parish, because we're not used to river water. But the rest of Louisiana is. Okay, if you go fishing in, you know, Doularge or you know, you fish Vermilion Bay or anything, you know all about that river water, and it's not poison. Okay, it just changes the game, and that's part of fishing. You have conditions change, you got to go find a fish. if that isn't what makes it fish, if that doesn't make fishing fun for you, then I don't know what it is. Anyways, I'm done preaching. Let's go ahead and move on here. Let's move on to, before we jump into the latest fishing reports, I want to cover one other thing about the river. People are asking, hey, is the Bonnet Carre Spillway being closed, or what's up? What's going on with that? And is any more snow melt or river water coming down? So let's take a look. Yep. Where did I put it? Okay, here's the Bonnet Carre Spillway status page, and they show you, everything for the, it's called the Spillway opening pace for 2019, and they show you how many bays are opened, what date that happens, total opened, and the discharge, how many cubic feet per second of water is coming through. So let's scroll all the way down to day 42. All right, and just to kind of put that into perspective, last year, the Bonnet Carre Spillway is open for 23 days, and in 2016 it was open again for 23 days. All right, so this has been open for a little while now. And yesterday they closed, or day before yesterday they closed 36 bays. Then the next day they closed 44 bays, and they have 55 bays total open, which is, I think the max that they had here was 206 bays. Okay, so now the Bonnet Carre Spillway is flowing at 38,000 cubic feet per second. Now, how does this translate to river water with the Mississippi River and her flood stage or river level and everything else that's north of it? Well, let's take a look at that. Here's the Mississippi River at New Orleans, and you can see how they do this graph here. They've got everything up to 17 foot is like normal, non-flooding, and then they have moderate is 19 to 20. Then anything above 20 is major, and then a record. I don't know when that record was set, but that's 21 foot and 3 inches, or 21.3 feet rather. So yeah, but you can see that she's forecasted to gradually go down. And this is great news, right? Because the sooner she can go down, the sooner that water can clean up. All that sediment can fall out of suspension, and the water will clean up. Will the water be fresher? Absolutely. But we've already established that inshore species really aren't bothered by fresh water. If you've kept up with any of my fishing trips, I was catching limits of speckled trout all winter long on artificial lures. It wasn't water. That was less than 4 parts per thousand. Guys, there are adult beverages you can get that are saltier than that. Okay, so yes, these species, inshore species, need saltier water to spawn in, but for now, they're still inside. They're moving out for the spawn. We can catch a whole bunch of them. So be optimistic. Anyways, so that's just Carrollton. Here it is. Here it is. That's Mississippi River at New Orleans. So there's this website. It's water.weather.gov, and it shows you all 9,035 river gauges that you can use to look at to kind of ascertain, hey, how much water is flooding in different places. What are the predicted water levels? And you can just look at this map and kind of get an idea by looking at the Mississippi River Valley. You can see that north of us we have a lot of minor, moderate, and major flooding. But if you actually take a look at it, like let's look at Red River Landing up here, you can see that it's actually forecasted to go down. All right, so that's good. And then everything else, that's upper river of us, it's all forecasted to go down. So this is good. This is good because that water is going to clean up once it does. And in fact, you can look at the MODA satellite imagery for, what day is this? Nope. For April 10th. Gosh darn it. No keynote. I have butterfingers, guys. Anyway, so look at Lake Pontchartrain, and this is not the Lake Pontchartrain, fishing forecast. I'm using this as an example so you can apply it to wherever it is you're fishing. Because for the most part, patterns across Louisiana's coast are the same. Now, you can see out here in the middle of eastern Lake Pontchartrain, it's really, really tan. It's disgusting. Guys, I was out there in my boat all day yesterday. I promise you that is exactly what it looks like. But look at the North Shoreline here. You see how it's dark? Boom, that's clean water. Now, I'll give you a heads up, and I'll tell you that the majority of that clean water is actually, like black water that drained out of this marsh, out of these bayous over here on the North Shore. So I wouldn't say that's like super salty clean water, but it is clean water. And then down here on the South Shore, you can just see a sliver of cleaner looking water. It's just slightly darker in color, right? And guys, when I say that there was clean water yesterday, it got so clean that I could see about 6 foot down. All right, so it did clean up, and it was just a little sliver of clean water, and I caught a good deal of nice speckled trout like the one you saw in that picture. Let's look at, not that one, let's look at Aqua. Remember, there's 2 satellites that take pictures in the AM and PM, so we like to look at both. Look at how much Lake Bourne is cleaned up. Man, I mean, look at that right there. That looks like water's coming out of Unknown Pass. That looks pretty good, huh? And then you got clean water along the shoreline down here and down here. Look at all that, guys. But even more so, look at how much it cleaned up here on the South Shore. So that says something right there. Anyways, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and look at fishing reports. Let me pull them up here. All right, here we are at LAFB Inshore. Guys, if you want fishing reports, inshore fishing reports for for Louisiana, this is where you go. All right, we have the best, the most, highest quality fishing reports there are, and it's all because of our awesome members. All right, so I have it set up here for a recent post. You can sort by recent or a newest activity. I like that chronological order. And here's Spencer Davis. He ran at a Hopedale. Some friends caught a limit of reds on live shrimp. Okay, so live shrimp and a corks and tight lining soft plastic lures. Cool. That's not a fishing report. And that's okay, because this is inshore fishing reports and discussion. Here's one out of Lafitte, limited out on redfish with cork and dead shrimp and jighead. Let's see what else we got here. Brett gave a brief fishing report for the Mystico Longbacks out of Hopedale, and he said that the trout have not shown up in force yet. Not really. It's kind of early. And no, that's a little. Man, guys, I tell y'all what, there's a good deal of fishing reports here. Chad Champagne went out and whacked him yesterday here in Lake Pontchartrain. Man, Scott caught some nice speckled trout out of Shell Beach. Good to go. Port Sulphur. This guy said 3 days. In 3 days, they caught well over 200 trout. That's awesome. Out of Port Sulphur. Hammers all day. Kept 5, caught 17. Lake Bully Camp. That's out of over by Point au Chien, like or you can get there out of Blue Bayou. Okay, all right. So guys, the point here is that people are catching fish. Actually, here's this other report real quick. Fish Delacroix said it's like Mardi Gras out there, beautiful day on the water. So there's a lot of people out there. He said fish just weren't biting. I guess he just didn't get on them. But people have been catching in Delacroix even on cold front days. So anyway, let me see here. What else? How would I fish these conditions? I would fish tomorrow. Okay. And this is, I know that's kind of like not the most heads up for a lot of you guys, but this is why I have this thing on Thursday. All right, so give you, maybe you can call in sick, or you can have your friend hook it up or whatever. I would fish tomorrow. Me personally, I would not fish Saturday or Sunday because I just don't need to know what 30-mile-an-hour winds are like. I already do. I'm not going to go out there and get my butt kicked. If you want to learn, uh, I would suggest getting behind some high spoil, like on a canal, or fish in an area that has a lot of high ground around it, like the New Orleans area is a great example. With a Great Wall of Chalmette, Industrial Canal, and all that. Not too sure what you're going to catch in there though. Um, Saturday and Sunday, I would stay inside and do my homework. I would read. I would do research. I would read fishing reports. I try and learn as much as I can to set myself up for the next fishing trip. Because for me, this is a long-term game. Okay, I think that if you're going fishing just to get the immediate satisfaction of setting a hook and reeling something in, you're not going to last long. Okay, you only need to drive around, Slidell, for example, and see all the boats on trailers and people's front yards that haven't been raining forever. It's a long-term game. Okay, so if you can go fishing, go tomorrow. If you can stay somewhere where it's protected, and you can fish Saturday, do that. Okay, don't. I mean, with the wind, depending on the boat you're in, with the wind blowing that hard, it could be dangerous in some really big bodies of water like Lake Bourne or middle of Lake Pontchartrain or whatever. So keep that in mind. And Sunday's going to be tough. I would just stay home. So what I would do when I go fishing tomorrow, and I am, I'm just going to go look for clean water in Lake Pontchartrain. I think anywhere that I can find clean water, I'm going to find fish. And based off what happened yesterday, if they're there, you're going to know within the first few casts. Okay. I would also look for bait. Bait's very, very important, guys. Here's a side imaging a picture I took. Let me share it with you guys real quick. And what I do is I run side imaging on my bow unit, all right, while I'm fishing. So as I'm in a tide line and things are flowing past me, if bait flows by, I will know exactly how much bait is going by. And you can see here just one little school of shad, or I say shad, I mean pogies, just kept going past the boat on my right hand side. And when I kept casting off to my right hand side, I was catching speckled trout. But if I cast over to my left hand side, I didn't really catch anything. And guys, I'm telling you, what I teach inside LAFB Elite with artificial lures and finding fish and using sonar and all that, hold on to something. Just hang on. All right, so I'm about to blow your world away. It's better than live shrimp underneath a popping cork, because there was a boat next to me throwing live shrimp under a popping cork, and I was beating the bricks off them. Absolutely putting a clinic on the fish while they were reeling in like stingrays. An occasional sheep's head and like little puppy drum or something, or throwback trash fish, whatever. So Saturday and Sunday, you're going to have plenty of time, if you choose to, all right, to get ahead, to improve the learning curve, to expand your inshore fishing knowledge. And I'm being dead serious. This is not a shameless plug. I really encourage you to go to lafishblog.com /blog, okay, and scroll all the way down to where there's the search box and use that thing. And there's a category drop down menu too, and use that thing and start going through the site. If there's something like how to fish tough cold fronts, or how to fish tough winds, or the springtime speckled trout pattern, or whatever, all right, it's going to be in there. Otherwise, if you're just going to go out and fish the same spots over and over again, and it just kind of is hit and miss, and you don't try new things, especially with artificial lures and bait casters, you will keep getting the same results, and you won't, be getting these awesome catches. You won't know about these awesome catches and everything else that people are catching until after they caught them, and then the good weather, the good pattern is gone. Right? You want to be ahead of the power curve. So I strongly suggest that you do that. What really worked for me were brighter colors in the like in the more stained, dingier water. Okay, like matrix shad ultraviolet, or maybe something with a little bit more body to it, like matrix shad pink champagne. But as the day wore on, and the water got really clean, I switched over to more natural colors, similar to what I used during the wintertime when I was fishing that really, really clear water for speckled trout. You want, and guys, and for those of you who are elite members, you'll see the fishing trip review. These fish were choking that bait. I mean, it was all the way back to their throat and their gills, like I was fishing with live bait. All right, and that's because I had a really, really good presentation. I had a 5/16 ounce jig head, which matched the current speed and the water depth. I was using, brace yourself, 10-pound fluorocarbon, okay, because I'm not scared my line's going to break, you know, and does it break? Sometimes, yeah, but so does 50-pound braid, all right. But it gives that lure that much better action and a more natural color and cleaner water, more clear water worked really well. And remember the brighter color and dirtier water. So I would definitely throw a jig. I'd have a popping cork ready to go. You should always have a popping cork. A drop shot with like a Berkeley Max Scent flat nose minnow on like a number 1 or a 1/0 size hook. Works really good. Maybe about 18 inches of leader line with a 1/2 ounce weight on the bottom, just to make sure that thing stays glued to the bottom. All right, and that worked out really well for me. So for the time being, if y'all have any questions or comments, by all means, please post them up below, and I'll get to you when I can. Just be sure to subscribe, and other things too. Be sure to subscribe to this channel. Okay, I know every YouTuber out there says that, but I'm not asking you to do that to help me. I'm asking you to do that to help yourself. So when I go live with this weekend fishing forecast, boom, it goes straight to your phone. You'll get a notification, and you'll know right away. Otherwise, I can't always put this out on all of my channels all the time. So do that, and be sure to visit lafishblog.com, and you can also use code WFF, stands for Weekend Fishing Forecast, code WFF14 to get LAFB Elite for 14 days free. Go check it out. So, tight lines, y'all.